Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Want to make a quick video on full bore splitter and greasy. I've been kind of taking notes and everything, what everybody's wanting to know, and taking, notes down about specs. So we're going to cover this today, go over it with the questions I have so far. I may or may not add something to this, and then run the cycle times on this, which is what everybody's so freaked out about. Well, I will cover that and give a few thoughts on that. This has been kind of mind-blowing with the cycle time. Boy, people have freaked out in some of the stupid crap that just, I'll cover it in a minute. But anyway, we will cover that in a few specs of the green machine here, the full bore, and go over this. I run these right before I turned the camera on and recorded it, so hopefully there ain't no glitches in the camera here. And I got, I run a stopwatch on my phone and got the cycle time of this and this. So this has got the 4-inch cylinder, 24-inch stroke, and this has got the 5-inch cylinder, 24-inch stroke. This is comes with a log lift, hydraulic adjustable wedge, 4-way and 6-way it comes with. And this is the one I built out of just scraps with a log lift. They both have the log lift, which is a must. And this is a fixed wedge on this one. So just kind of throwing that out there. But 4-inch cylinder, 5-inch cylinder. And they're both 24-inch strokes. And I got cycle times on them. So I think that's it for a minute. So let me set this camera up. I took some notes because there was quite a bit to cover. And then we'll go back over this and cover everything. So hang on, I'll set the camera up, be right back. Hey everybody, welcome back. Just got this set up again so I can sit down and go over some stuff with the full bore here. Been taking notes, kind of what everybody wanted to know, and basically I'll just start in no random order here. And someone want to know about the pump. Is it 3/4 coming out of the pump? Yes, it's 3/4 inch coming out of the pump, and it looks like 1/2 inch on top. It's different sides going out. It might be 3/4. Hard to, it's kind of dirty and sawdust covered under there, and I wiped it off, but I think it's 1/2 inch on the exit side. It's definitely 3/4 on the suck side out of the tank, and looks like half. Might be 3/4, but looks like half. And I'll cover that in a minute. Beam height. Ooh, I forgot a tape measure. 1 second. Let me see if I can find one. Okay, back. Luckily, had one in the truck. I'm up here at Buddy's place where I moved my wood yard, and I ain't by the shop with my tools. But anyway, okay, the full bore is approximately, because I'm out here on dirt and I got shavings under these splitters, but I kind of cleaned it off. It's approximately from the ground to the top of the beam, 25 inches. And greasy is 28. Now, before you freak out about that being too low, it does need to adjust it up. And stay tuned, because I'm going to swap an axle on here. This has got little bitty tires. Let me grab the camera. Let me show you kind of what this comes with, in case you don't know. This has got those little bitty wheels. They're like 8-inch. And they don't even have a, not a bolt-on wheel. They just got the nut that holds it on. I really don't like those anyway. And, well, Greasy's got big old 15s on it. So, but stay tuned. I'm going to modify that, put 12-inch tires on it, bring it up just a little bit. It's not bad where it's at, but it could be a little bit better. Greasy's perfect. It's amazing how much 3 inches on that actually makes a difference, So, but I'm going to throw a different axle under it with bolt-on wheels where I can just bolt them on if something happens, and like I said, go 12-inch. And I'm 6 foot, and with the full bore, I just, just barely, with a little bitty round, I kind of have to stoop over just a hair. But when you're splitting the bigger rounds, it's not so much issue. I just stand up and hold it. It's just fine. It's just barely stooping over it at times. Most of the time you can stand up with the bigger, 12, 14-inch rounds. So in greasy, it don't matter. That thing, I built that in the shop to my height. put the axle under that tube, which is about this style, and it's got a little spacer, so they're pretty close, but that's perfect. And like I said, I'm 6 foot and I barely stoop over at times. Just with those little rounds is enough to make you kind of do it at times. So anyway, keep that in mind. Most people, it ain't a big deal. It's pretty comfortable. It ain't too bad. So with that being said, let's hang on. Let me hit this back and get set up again. I got my notepad over here. So 25 inch on the full bore, 28 on greasy. And the only reason I'm mentioning my splitter that I built is just people that have been on this channel a long time can reference that and kind of know, you know, about what it is. And like I said, I'm 6 foot and that's really not a problem. Okay, how many gallon a minute? Set 18 on the box. It's wrote on the pump. Yeah, it is an 18 gallon a minute pump, which is weird. It usually goes from 16 to 19, but 15 gallon a minute on the high side and 3 gallon a minute on the high pressure side, on the low side there. So it is an 18 gallon a minute pump. And then how close is the wedge to the plate? Oh, I'm not firing that back up. I covered that the other day. That little dimple that sticks out on it from there to the end of the 4-way wedge, which would be the same as the 6, it was about a ½ inch. So to your splitting wedge and the closest point of contact, about a ½ inch. Roughly eyeballing, might be closer than that. And who makes it? Full bore, which is a division of Yard Max. So that's who actually makes it, is Yard Max. It's a division of Yard Max. And you know, what was the warranty? Standard box store splitter stuff. I think it had a year. I mean, it's hydraulics and it's built really well and it's welded really well, so I really don't see any problem with that. And you know, it's built pretty good. I can't complain about anything that I see as far as the welds, as far as the way it's put together. It seems very well built. I mean, for what it is. This ain't a $15,000 splitter. It's $3,000. And I've used the heck out of this thing since I've got it, and I've loved it. Which is another question. Do I sell firewood, or is this for my own personal use? I sell firewood. I sell a lot of it. Not as much as some people. You know, probably I don't know, a couple hundred rick a year, you know, a little less maybe, give or take in there somewhere. So I bought this mainly as a backup while I'm building my big ones. I'm getting ready to build a box wedge machine, so stay tuned for that. I built Greasy right behind the camera there with the log lift and all that. So that was built because I couldn't afford one of them $15,000 machines. That's why that's here. So next question, who makes the motor? Who knows? It's a clone motor. It's a clone of a Honda. It's 306 cc's, and I know Harbor Freight's Predator engine is 301 cc's, and that's an 8-horse. So it's an 8-horse running an 18 gallon a minute pump, guessing. It's just got a full bore sticker on it, but it starts really good. It runs really good. Like I said, it's just a Honda clone motor. I don't know. I have run different variations of those motors, different brands. I have had no issues with any of those things. And before someone freaks out, Honda. Oh my God, shut up. Yeah, Hondas are good, but they are highly overrated and they are not worth the price. As far as me buying one out of my own pocket, having to pay for it myself, I will take a Predator over a Honda any day. I have run tons of those things and never had an issue with them. And they're very well built. They even have a steel cam gear in them. The Greasy's running a 13-horse Predator on it right now. Been on there for years, and it's been couple years since I built it, and I've run it, and it's been a great engine. And I've got tons of those 6.5s on stuff at the house. Never had a problem with them. So, you know, if someone wants to donate a Honda, I'll run it. But as far as me having to buy one myself, I have no problem going and buying a Predator. The Briggs and Kohlers are clone motors, made to their spec. They don't make their own engine anymore. Nobody does until you get in that V-twin. Then Briggs makes their own engine and Kohler makes their own engine in the V-twins. Those little engines, look at them, they're clone motors like the Predators and everything else. So that's what this has got. And Greasy's got one too. It's got a Predator on it. So no big deal. So don't freak out. They don't have a Honda. Oh my God. You'll live. It's fine. And you know, I had a lot of people constantly talking about, check out Wolf Ridge, check out Wolf Ridge. This is a lot of the same design features, but this is a third of the price. You know, they're like $9,000 if you get one with adjustable hydraulic wedges and all the stuff, the hydraulic log lift and everything on them. That's about what you're going to pay. I mean, that's just all there is to it. I don't have that kind of money. This is great, and this is, like I said, mainly a backup till I get my other ones built, and it's fine. I am loving it so far. I can't complain about it. The only thing I'm going to complain about is the removable pan, which it's good, it's built good, but I'm going to make it where the tongue's removable. Average homeowner's not going to have that problem, but it won't go over my conveyors. The tongue's in the way, so I'm just going to make it removable like I did Greasy, where you can just pull the tongue out, it's behind the pan, and the pan's over the conveyor. It won't be a problem, and it's an easy fix. So stay tuned for those mods. And I have done one to it already. There was 3 I wanted to do. I wanted to fix the tongue. I wanted to change these tires and rims out to a bolt-on style and go a hair taller to get just a little bit more height out of it. And somebody told me, well, that's going to change the height of my log lift. Well, duh. You bring it up, but it's actually curved just a little bit, so it still has room to go to the ground. And if not, I got a welder. I don't care. I can add a little extension to that lift, so it's not a big deal for me, and I really don't think it's going to be when I put the 12-inch tires. I don't think I'll have changed anything, so stay tuned for that, because you'll want to see that. That's one of the mods. And the handle is a must. Even if you don't change the tongue or the wheels, change that stupid handle. That is an absolute must, and it was only 15 bucks to do it. Let me show you what I did on that. Right here. This thing is, I will leave a link for this in the description, an Amazon link. This was $15. And as you can see, my handle is straight up and down. It's just 2 bolts, and you pull this little master link off right here. It goes to this hydraulic valve. Takes about 10 minutes. 5-10 minutes. I could have done it in 5 if I wasn't recording. I mean, it's super simple. But it, and then you clock this, just turn it a little bit with a wrench. And I'll leave a link to the video in the description box, or I'll put it here, or do both or something, but you can find it. But this is an absolute must. That saved me from stooping over. You know, that little bit trying to get down to that sideways handle kind of hurts your back at the end of the day. But like this, shoot, I can just, it's there. So that is a must no matter what. And like I was talking before, you know, I'm gonna make this removable, go behind it, and do it just like I did Greasy here. You can see there's the receiver hitch. It just pulls out, and this goes right off into my conveyor. The way the tongue's set up on this is kind of a problem, but that's an easy fix. So I'm gonna modify that in the tires to bring the height up, and that's about it. But no matter what, if you're just a homeowner doing your own, I can't recommend this enough for the price. Saves your back with that log lift and that catch pan. And those are the only 3 things I'm really going to change, because I still like that it's small enough I can pick it up and move it without a piece of equipment. Greasy, that thing right there was a ton, literally. I bet that thing weighs every bit of 1,000 pounds, at least that. It's probably 12 or a hair over that. I mean, it's a big machine. I built it tough. I didn't want it to break. Overkill's underrated, so when I built it heavy I-beam, heavy everything. But, you know, nothing's tore up on it, except the very piece in the back that someone else did where they put a taper splice in it. But I fixed that, welded a plate on the back. You're just tuning in, but had to fix that. They had a couple splices in the back and everything, and I swapped from a 5-inch 30-inch cylinder, you know, 5-inch bore 30-inch stroke, to a 4-inch by 24-inch stroke cylinder. And even though it's slower, I'd rather have the 5, because there's a lot of wood this stupid 4 won't bust. And it is kicking down into the 2nd stage. That low, you know, gallon per minute high pressure side. So it's kicking into that 2nd stage. kicking down. It's working fine. But a 4-inch cylinder doesn't have the tonnage a 5 does. I'd rather have the power because we got some gnarly oak around here. And if you get a knot in that white oak of any kind, or you know, just a rough spot, they don't like it. Just part of the game. I'd rather sacrifice a few seconds to have that power and not worry about putting anything up there to split it. It's gonna bust. You know, that 5-inch cylinder right there, that'll take care of business and get stuff done. That's nice. And especially if you're running a 4-way or a 6-way. If you're running a 6-way, odds are your 4-inch ain't gonna go through it unless you're splitting some kind of softwood. You ain't got tonnage to go through a 6-way. You just don't. You can get away with a 4-way on a 4-inch cylinder, but this tough oak and stuff now, I'm telling you, 4-inch just ain't good with a 6-way. It'd be useless on this machine. So that's that. My thoughts on that. And let me set this up. I'm just trying to cover everything here, but me personally, I'd rather have the power. And I know people freak out, oh my god, the cycle time. When you're splitting 6 pieces at a time, you know, versus a single wedge going 2, 4, throwing it over, and so you got a 4-way. Well, then you're 4 and 8 versus 6, 12. You know, do the math. You can lose a few seconds when you're gaining a few pieces of wood. I can't understand it. And there's some people on there. I have had about half a dozen different people through all the series of videos so far that I've replied comments to. And you know, do you? I don't care. I'm not trying to sell this stupid thing. I'm just telling you my thoughts on it, what I like about it. But there's actually people out there that would give up a hydraulic wedge, 4-way and 6-way, and that log lift for a couple of seconds on one of them box store splitters. They're not fast. And they have a couple of them out there that are supposed to be fast, and they're the same price for $3 grand. Someone told me about a county line, some kind of fast cycle or something that was comparable. It was quite a bit quicker than this, but it was still $3,000. You don't have a log lift. You don't have a catch pan. What is your back worth? And guarantee you, all my guys that watch me that have a commercial style splitter like this little full bore that has the wedges in the log lift, I guarantee you ain't one of them going to argue with me on this, that those people are saying they wouldn't have this and give that up because of those couple of seconds, and they're going to keep their box store splitter. They don't want the log lift. It's because they've never had one. If you ever get a machine with a log lift, you will never ever go back to a machine without a log lift after you've had one. Period. That is why when I built Greasy, I built the log lift, because I knew I wanted that. That's like noodling a 24-inch round. A lot of them do. I know there's some bigger. I've had up to about a 3-foot round on that's the biggest I've had in this area. I know there's probably some bigger, but a lot of people noodle them down. That's stupid to me. My opinion. It's round. It's a wheel. It rolls. Get it over there. Get your machine by the big rounds once you cut the tree up and roll them. Let that machine bust them, because you're going to cut them in 4s on the ground and you're going to pack those 4 pieces to your machine to bust it? No. Roll it to the machine. Let the machine lift it for you. Save your back, plus all the stooping over with the saw. Let the machine bust it in 4s. Let the pan catch it. It's right there. All you got to do is drag it back then. You're not wasting time and fuel on that stupid chainsaw and killing yourself to get it into quarters. My thoughts. So take that for what it's worth, whatever. But I guarantee you, anybody that'll give up a hydraulic wedge and all that, and the catch pan and the log lift, they've never had it. Once you've had that, you don't get rid of that. You go back to a box store splitter and it's junk. I got one sitting over in my buddy's barn I haven't touched in 2 years, because I built this because I was sick of splitting it and picking the pieces off the ground and killing my back. I can go all day now and I don't hurt. I mean, that's just a simple fact of it. I guarantee you anybody that's on this will tell you, if you ever have a log lift, you will never ever go to a machine without one again. Especially, it's just mind-blowing. You ain't run one. You ever run one, you'll never go back. So, anyway, moving on. My thoughts on that. And the grand resistance that everybody is waiting for, that I just harped about, of the conveniences, the cycle times. Okay, I run the full bore and I run greasy. Timed them. Greasy with that 4-inch cylinder, 24-inch stroke, has a cycle time of 8.36 seconds. The full bore has a cycle time of 14.27. These were all over the place, 13, 16, 18 second cycle times, but my stopwatch, that's what I got. And I didn't sit there and let these run, you know, 15, 20 minutes and let the fluid get good and warm. They would probably get a little better. Might drop under 14, might drop under 8, don't know. But I let them idle for about 5 minutes just to kind of get them semi-warm, because I've got places to be today. So full bore is 14.27 and greasy is 8.36. So, and I like running this. I can get more wood done with that slower cycle time than I can with the fast one. One reason, there ain't nothing that won't bust. I don't have to sit there and fight and get halfway through a piece and find out I can't split all of it, or not at all. Depends on how many knots is in a big piece. And plus I can put that 6-way on if I get serious, or that 4-way, and I can bust multiple pieces at a time with one push. So it don't take long to gain a lot of ground doing multiple splits at a time per push. You know, you can go 4, 8, 12, or you can go 6, 12, 18, or with a single wedge, 2, 4, 6. That's all you got. It don't take long to make up time with a slower cycle time and make more production, because you're getting multiple splits, because you've got power to run through the 6-way. You drop that down to a 4-inch, you ain't gonna use that 6-way. That's all there is to it. Unless you're just doing real soft stuff, you know, pine or something, which around here you'll get run off with mobs and pitchforks and torches if you try to sell pine. True story. Been trying to give some away on the place forever and nobody will take it. So it's probably gonna end up in a holler. Giant pine trees. Just part of it. They're junk, garbage, you know, for heat. Now I understand the campfire thing and they're popping and crackling. Somebody would like it for that, but I can't sell it here in my area. You will absolutely get run off and run out of business. And I think that is about it. That is about all I have got to cover on this. Make sure I didn't write nothing on the back. No. Okay, I guess that's it. Like I said, 35 ton rated. I'd have to find the calculator and do the formula there. I don't know. Greasy's 4-inch, so it's less than 35. And I don't know. I like that splitter, and it's really good. It is fast. You can go through some bigger stuff. It's good for boiler wood. I made my first order of that the other day, and that was great. Just splitting it in halves and 4s. Then I could make more production with greasy than I could this, because I was just splitting them in half, and most of them was in half. Very few was in 4s, but I mean, it was just boom, 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 doing it in halves. So something like that, yeah. But like I said, anybody that would give up a log lift is just beyond me. They've never run one. And like I said, the more cycle time, it might be slower, but you can get more pieces done. And the overall construction, very well welded, very good. I mean, a lot of that you can tell is machine welded. They've laid it up there. It's not an I-beam either. It's a box beam where they've, you know, they've made the top, made the bottom, and they've made the sides, all machined out, CNC cut, and they've welded it. So that's exactly what that is. And there's only, like I said, there's only 3 things I want to change: the tongue, and the tire height, and the valve, and I've done the valve. And I will leave a link for that little part, and I'll try to put a link to the video in the description box if I can remember it, or put it at the end of the video or something. But the link for the part will definitely be in there, and go watch the video. I show how to do that. Super simple. Anybody can do it. Don't be intimidated. But that one is a must. And my overall thoughts of what I think, I love this machine, especially for the money. And like I said, I bought this for a backup. I'm getting ready to build some big wild stuff, but I did not have a spare splitter in the event something happened. And when Greasy went down, because I took the center beam off an old splitter that someone already built, and then I added the wedge and built all around it, put the tank, the motor, the axle, I did all that. But the piece they added on the butt section in the back, their splice broke. It broke beside the wheel and tore the back of it off, and I had to redo the cylinder. I didn't have a spare splitter that time, and it cost me over a week. And I got mad, and I did some homework and found this and went and bought this. And this is mainly a backup, but if you're, you know, you can do a commercial operation with this as long as you're not a huge scale guy. You know, if you're doing 100 rick a year or something, or face cord if you don't know what that is, 100 to 200, this be fine. This thing would be fine for that. Now, if you're one of them big guys that's doing 1,000 face cord or 1,000 rick a year or something like that, no, you're probably gonna get in processor territory then. But definitely any homeowner, this right here, I would not even think about buying one of them box store splitters. Like I said, I've got one sitting in there for 2 years and I haven't even touched it. I need to go start it. Buddy started it up once in a while. That's where I'm at now. Now that these are here, he don't touch that one no more either because he's got the log lifts. So I'm gonna do a video on that and bring it out and show it. We've had it a long time, but you just slowly upgrade. You know, when I went from an axe to the box store, well, that was great. But then when I built Greasy and got the log lift and all that, it was never again with that and the catch pan. That was just, then I pick stuff up on the ground every split. And someone will argue, oh, you can flip it up and you can go vertical. Yay, then I can sit here like I am on this stump and have my back bent over all day fighting rounds and my back's really gonna hurt. I'm out. They've never run these, or they would not even be thinking about that. So, and like I said, I'm not trying to sell you this. I could care less. I don't get no commission or nothing off this. I'm just giving you my thoughts because I know everybody's looking for these. And Buckeye is where I got this one in Jefferson City. At the time I got it, that was the only place to get these things. But they are on Amazon now. I will leave an Amazon link for that in the description box. So go down there if you want to buy one. You can have it delivered to your door. They're $3,300 on Amazon, and there was $3 grand at Buckeyes in Jefferson City. Ask for Greg if you order one. If that's in your neighborhood, that's a better deal. Time you pay taxes, I think it was $31.50 there, or $33 on Amazon, and they'll charge you a little bit too. But the free delivery and all that. So, but I'll leave an Amazon link for it. The splitter in the valve part. You definitely need the valve part if you've already got one. And I guess that is my final thoughts and kind of comparing everything. I think I've covered everything. The beam, I don't think I mentioned it. The top part that the deal slides on, it is changeable if it wears out on the push plate. Very well made. Big. Speaking of push plate, I'll give you a size on it. Look, it is 10. Okay, the push plate is 10 inches wide by 10.5 inches tall. But the top of the beam when it's sitting on, eyeballing it, looks like a 1/2 inch beam. So very stout, very well built. Like I said, you can tell all that's machine welded. And I guess that's it. I'm just trying to, while this video's rolling, make sure I covered everything. But it comes with, like I said, it comes with a 4-way and a 6-way wedge for that too, and the log lift. And the wedges are hydraulically adjustable. They're made like a Wolf Ridge. The cylinder, it's got a cylinder and a rod behind the, where the wedges slide over the wedge, you know, and then you just put your 4-way over it and your 6-way over it and pop a pin in it. So real simple. And I guess that's it. That's all I can think of. So I'm gonna cut this video off. That's all I can think of at this moment. Stay tuned for the mods. I'm gonna put the axle on with bolt-on wheels and raise the height just a hair. Like I said, it ain't bad, but if you're a tall guy, just the shorter rounds, you got to stoop just a little bit, and I'm just going to eliminate that altogether while it's in the shop because I want bolt-on wheels. If I ever have it flat or something, I can just unbolt them and go on, or job something through them, you know. And I got another hay conveyor, or hay conveyor. I changed one over. I just built another wood conveyor from an old hay elevator. just like this one. It works great. So stay tuned. You'll get to see that video coming up. And stay tuned also for the other upcoming builds for the box wedge machines I'm getting ready to build. I'm getting ready to build one. And mods on the full board, a little bit with greasy. All the good woodyard shenanigans that everybody wants to see, right? We have more coming. And I guess that's it. So I'm going to cut the video off. So as always, like and subscribe. I hope this helps. If not, if there's something I missed, leave me a question below and I'll try to answer it. Or someone else can answer it for me, hopefully. So I guess that's it for the video. So as always, like and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next video. Bye.